सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयात् तितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुनये शौनकादृषिभ्यो अत्र्यादृषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो मत्स्यादेवतारेभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिः हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच just chant for some shlokas 45 onwards. मा स्वस्य कर्म बीजेन जायते सोऽप्ययं पुमान् म्रियते वामरो भ्रान्त्या यथाग्निर्दारुसंयुतः निषेकगर्भजन्मानि बाल्यकौमारयौवनं वयोमध्यं जरामृत्युः इत्यवस्थास्तनोर्नृप नम एतामनोरथमयीः यन्यस्योच्चावचास्तनोः गुणसङ्गादुपादत्ते क्वचित् कश्चित् जघाति च आत्मनः पितृपुत्राभ्याम् अनुमेयौ भवाप्ययौ न भवाप्ययवस्तूनाम् अभिज्ञो द्वयलक्षणः तरोर्बीजविपाकाभ्याम् यो विद्वान् जन्म संयमौ तरोर्विलक्षणो द्रष्टा एवं द्रष्टा तनोः पृथक् प्रकृतेरेवमात्मानम् अविवेच्या बुधः पुमान् तत्त्वेन स्पर्शसम्मूढः संसारं प्रतिपद्यते सत्त्वसङ्गात् ऋषीन् देवान् रजसासुरमानुषान् तमसा भूततिर्यक्त्वं भ्रामितो याति कर्मभिः नृत्यतो गायतः पश्यन् यथैवानुकरोति तान् एवं बुद्धिगुणान् पश्यन् अनीहोऽप्यनुकार्यते यथाम्भसा प्रचलता तरवोऽपि चला इव चक्षुषा भ्राम्यमाणेन दृश्यते भ्रमतीव भूः यथा मनोरथधियः विषयानुभवो मृषा स्वप्नदृष्टाश्च दाशारः तथा संसार आत्मनः अर्थे हि अविद्यमानेऽपि संसृतिर्न निवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयान् अस्य स्वप्ने अनर्थागमो यथा तस्मादुद्धवमाभुङ्क्ष्व विषयान् असदिन्द्रियैः आत्माग्रहणनिर्भातं पश्य वैकल्पिकं भ्रमं क्षिप्तोऽवमानितो असद्भिः प्रलब्धो सूयितोऽथवा ताडितः सन्निबद्धो वा वृत्त्या वा परिहापितः निष्ठितो मूत्रितो वाग्नैः बहुधैवं प्रकम्पितः श्रेयस्कामः कृच्छ्रगतः आत्मनात्मानमुद्धरेद उद्धव उवाच यथैव मनुबुध्येयं वदनो वदतां वरा सुदुस्सहमिमं मन्ये आत्मन्यसदतिक्रमं विदुषाम् विश्वात्मन् प्रकृतिर्हि बलीयसी ऋते त्वद्धर्मनिरतान् शान्तांस्ते चरणालयान्। इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, श्रीभागवत शरणं मम, श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम, श्रीसोता शरणं मम, श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम, श्रीव्यास शरणं मम, श्रीनारद शरणं मम, श्रीकुमार शरणं मम, श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम, श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम, श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम, श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. Let us salute the Lord in all forms as well as the Guru Tattva in all the forms of the Rishis and Munis and Gurus who are trying their best to empower us with the right knowledge so that we come out of all the problems, bondages created by the ignorance. All Shastras which we study, especially the Tattva Shastra, Vedanta Shastra, generally they talk about these 4-5 aspects. Very thoroughly, when we understand, we understood the Shastras. One is they talk about the existence only of the only one without second truth. Call in different name, Atma, Brahma, Paramatma, Parabrahma, Sadvastu, Sachidananda. Call what may be. Basically, what they talk is about the presence of only one truth without second. Then, in the second portion, they talk about all the Shastras and Gurus, Satsanga, from that Paramatma, one without second. How this entire Jagat of so much a variety and multitude got manifested. Again, in that lot of topics are there. Have they really manifested, or they only are imagined, or they are superimposed? All those discussions are there. But there is also a prakriya as to from him how the entire Jagat has come. Second topic. Exhaustively explained. Third topic is most essential for us. Ki, in that world which has come out of Lord, you and I as a jiva, how we get caught up or bound? The bandhanam. Lord created world, He created me. But how I got entangled, how I got bound, is a huge but most important and a relevant topic for you and I. Then only the fourth and important topic of how to get out of that bondage and what is the nature of mukti. These are the four topics they exhaustively talk. So then the mukti, nature of mukti is where I, the jiva, the jagat in front of me, created, even the creator of this jagat, called Ishvara, with all his Shakti Samaya, all these three are not there in Paramatma, in the Supreme Self. That is the Mukta Sthiti. He alone is there. If at all they are there, we attend to they are not other than him. Again, underline the word, they are not other than him. They are not apart from him. They are not independent from him. Like snake is not other than apart from independent of rope. It is only appearance of the rope. In the same way, the entire whatever you see is nothing but appearance of him on him. Means without making the Paramatma disappear or destroyed, they make it in such a way that he is not seen. Secondly, without the Jagat being real, yet it appears and appears as real. That is a trick of this world. Lord is always there, but not seen. The world is not there, but appears to be seen. Like ornament is there, gold is there, but not seen conspicuously. Ornaments are not there, but they alone are seen. The trick is called as Maya, the trick is called as creation. Is it not? Gold is there, gold alone is there. But nobody talks in the form of gold. You talk only in the language of ornaments. Ornaments are not at all there, but they appear to be so real. So to Paramatma alone is permeating. But he is not seen as he is. Other than him, no other thing is there. But everything is spoken of. Whether it's called Ishvara, it is various forms. You call it as Jagat, in that millions of Rupanama, and in the Jivas, so many of them, their Upadis, their Bandhanam, their Moksha, all of them are not there in Paramatma. Like in movie, so many things are, but not there. In dream, so many things are there, but really not there. In the same way, all of them are appearing, but not there. So, but after appearance, they are taken as real. He is called bound. Slowly, when a jiva comes to understand that they are coming and going, therefore they are not real. When they come and go, that must happen on some substratum. Therefore, not only they are not real, they are only illusory. Then what is reality? When that way a sadhaka, a jiva starts inquiring, then you will see all these edifices of universe world gets dissolved, dismantled. He sees only the truth. This, as it is said, not so easy. For that, our withdrawal from the world, our ability to reach to the state of contemplation, in the meantime, in between, our purification of antakarna by getting it rid of kama, krodha, raga, dvesha through karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and all. This is one side. Other side, the intense surrender to the Guru Maharaj, who alone can teach us this. And to teach us this knowledge, he takes all the pains only when we surrender. But that surrender we have to have. But who comes in the form of the Guru and patiently teaches us is the God, our upasana to the God. So these are all the ingredients when they are fully playing their role. Means when we are involved, when we are involved in all of them put together, the precipitation, the outcome is this mukti where we reach to that experience where he alone is there, nothing. Even though if it is seen, it is nothing other than him. He alone in so many forms. At the Utthana Dasha or at the Upadistha Dasha or when his Maya is playing the play. And that Maya Shakti is never ever other than apart from independent of him. When the world has to come, he and his Maya, Shiva Shakti. When the world is dissolved, there is no Shakti other than Shiva, Shiva alone. So in this way, all our Shastras theoretically tell. With all this theory, we get an idea as to what is bondage and what is liberation. Holding on to those ideas, we have to keep on working, single pointedly, fully focused toward that experience of moksha. He is called as complete sadhaka. For that matter, every jiva must be sadhaka to reach the siddhi. For that only he is sent into the world, things all around are only for that the given by Lord. But somehow, again, we are talking on this topic from last 20 days every day. Somehow, because of independence given to me, I become a strong ego. Once I become ego, then I start doing things as I like. Caught up in these likes and whatever I want to do, I will do only that one. I forget that what job is given to me. Like in any office, when he starts doing his own side business, for what purpose he is offered that job, he forgets it. In that side business only, they become busy. Many people used to do 20 years, 30 years. अभी नहीं है. They are government office servants, government, but they come 1.5 hour late to office. Now है तो 11. शाम को 5 दिन भर निकल जाता है. क्या कर रहे हैं? और कुछ कर रहे हैं उस समय. कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है. In the same way, that freedom given, that individuality given, with that individuality and freedom, we just start liking some things, then we forget what for we came. And why that liking? Some because of vasanas, some because of we see the co-travelers of in the world and we don't analyze, we get just carried away by them. Like children sent to school for study. But after 2 months or 1 year, you see, bigad gaya wo. Some of them are his own samskaras. Many of them he saw other students and from them he got misguided. In the same way, andhe naivanyamanayatha andha, one eye blindness we go with, another eye blindness we follow the blind people, then thus we fall in the ditch of samsara. Not trying for mukti is samsara. Trying for mukti is sadhana. Then doing all sadhana till the last level is the called as the siddhi. You reach the siddhi at the last moment. Now, a part of these 4 points is all Veda Vedanta Upanishad. Each of them highlight on one aspect. One only explains about Brahma Tattva Nirnayam. Other talks about how the Srishti came. Some talk about how the Jiva gets bound in it. Other talks about how to get liberation. Fifth one talks about what the nature of liberation. Liberated person's Lakshana. This is all. Some Shastras talk two, some three. कुछ शास्त्र सारे बात करते हैं. Bhagavata Purana, they talk all topics. Gita, he talks all topics. Only we have to have that high level of wisdom to be able to comprehend all these things that are said in the Shastra. And that ability comes to us when you regularly study Shastra and when we are with the Guru. And in that also levels, gradations are there. Depending on our own upasanas done with which our antakarana become very sharp and subtle, our grasping power, our understanding abilities, they grow. Accordingly, we should understand the Shastra deeply also and in expanded manner also. When the Shastra understood deeply expanded manner, we understand the theme of Shastra, the Paramatma, the bondage, the liberation, all that. So, after saying all this introduction, what is said by Bhagavan Krishna is this only. Through examples. What is there is the self alone. Other than self, I or the Jagat, all of them are the Maya Nirmita. They are not real. We give reality to them, then we get bound. So, start slowly analyzing them. So, the examples given of the trees going back, the example given of the world rotating, and the eyes are rotating, is not the self remains untouched, but because of the upadhi, the self gathers that status as if not really, because of the person's non-alertness, non-discrimination. It's like सारे बड़े बुजुर्ग लोग बैठे हैं, हम भी बैठे, पाँव हिल रहा है, फॉर सम टाइम हिलता है, सडनली मुझे ही समझ में आता है, हाउ कैन आई हिलो माई पाँव इन फ्रंट ऑफ पेरेंट्स और एल्डर्स, स्टॉप करता हूँ. Sometimes I don't stop, but one of the elders says, he looks at us. The moment looks at us, we become alert. अरे ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. Another time, his looks also don't work. They loudly say, अरे बड़ों के सामने पाँव हिला के थोड़ी बैठते हैं. Then we become alert. In the same way, I am the self. But when I am not alert, I just imagine world. Then I give reality to it. When the Guru comes and tells, and when we follow them, listen to them, slowly we understand. So, only Paramatma is there. His Maya Shakti is creating the Jagat. A part of Maya is our own avidya. With our avidya, we create our own Jagat and get caught up in that. What is to be done? We have to gain Vidya. What is the Vidya steps? First, to know that we are in avidya. Then know that we have to come into the Vidya to get liberated. And what is avidya? Upadhi tadatmyam. What is Vidya? Totally withdraw from Upadhi. That is why in that 55 sloka, we have so exhaustively say, so 50th, Prakrutereva Matmanam Avivichya Abudahapuman Tatvena Sparsha Sammuda Samsaram Pratipadyate. So much important is one mantra, we dealt with it for 2 or 3 days. And you see, because of our busy schedules and lack of memory power, such a precious knowledge which we appreciate so much while studying is forgotten by us. Then when it is forgotten, it is of no use. Then how to make it useful? When you remember. How do you remember? Continuously when you study 10, 20 times and hold on to that all the time. कोई भी रिपीट करो याद रहता है, चाहे भगवान का नाम हो अकॉर्डिंग टू मॉर्निंग विष्णु सहस्रनाम क्लास, चाहे तत्व चिंतन हो अकॉर्डिंग टू अवर ब्रह्म ज्ञानावली माला, और हियर ऑल्सो द सेम तत्व चिंतन अकॉर्डिंग टू भागवत. Prakrutehe atmanam avivicya avudah pumana tatvena sparsha sammodah samsaram pratipadyate. Swashtam? That shloka as many times as possible, you study it. Then Nrutyuto Gayata examples we saw. Then yesterday we were dealing with the Pachpanva mantra 55. What a beautiful, simply said shloka. We have spent some 15 minutes on that. We'll just rewind it what we studied. He says, Artehi avidyamanepi samsrutir na nivartate dhyayato vishayanasya swapne anarthagamo yatha. Even though there is no reality to the Jagat, Arthe Avidyamane, even though there is no Sukha in the Jagat, Arthe Avidyamane, Artha means reality of the Jagat, Artha means Sukha in the Jagat. Arthe Avidyamane, कोई फायदा ही नहीं उसमें. अब in हिंदी also, in other language also ये कहते हो ना, आप किस अर्थ के लिए या प्रयोजन के लिए जा रहे हो आप गए वहां तो अर्थ तो हुआ ही नहीं, फिर क्या हुआ? अनर्थ हुआ. सो अर्थ है अविद्यमाने मीन्स उसमें अर्थ पर्पस लिबरेशन ब्लिस हैप्पीनेस है ही नहीं. व्हेन अर्थ इज नॉट देयर एंड व्हाट इज देयर ऑपोजिट ऑफ इट अनर्थ ही है उसमें. सेकंड मीनिंग ऑफ अर्थ इज रियलिटी. सो रियलिटी एंड बेनिफिट इज सुख, नाइदर रियल नॉर सुख. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ अर्थे अविद्यमाने. Yet samsutir na nivartate. The samsara of I struggling in this world to gain this or not never goes away, though it is not real. अर्थे अविद्यमान ही संसार निवर्तते, मतलब सब कर रहे बिना कोई फायदे का और नुकसान नहीं हो रहा है उससे, फिर भी छोड़ नहीं पा रहे. कहाँ से शुरू हुआ, क्या समझना चाहिए उसका? वेयर टू अंडरस्टैंड ओनली वन सेंटेंस. व्हाट इज दैट? ध्यायतो विषयानस्य. Now one question is permanently answered. Here literally बताया कि because of the Vishaya Dhyanam only the world is created and we get bound in the world trying to expect some sukha or moksha. Instead of that we only get dukkha and bandhana. तो बताया. The second fact is what? The second question and answer is what? Dhyayato Vishayanasya means what? When did I start doing the Vishaya Dhyana? This is a question, is it not? The answer for it is what? Ki question cannot be answered. You have Vishaya Dhyana now, because of which you are creating world, valuing the world, running behind the world, getting bound. You get out of the Vishaya Dhyana, you get the Mukti. This is the answer. How did it start? You can't say. When did it start? You can't say. Because when you go to the origin of it, it is not there. That is the Maya. Like any of the disease which comes in the modern world has not come without any root or base or cause behind. It is only every disease mutation only after one after the other. And where the first one started, you can't say. You can only, as much your intellect goes, you can say, but it is not end of it. Beyond that also there are some reasons which we cannot comprehend. Okay, here comes the help of bhakti if we properly take it. If you don't take properly, that will only not helpful to us. What is that? It is Bhagavan's Maya. Okay. It is Bhagavan. ऐसा उनको दे दो. Because this answerless question will have to end at one place. It is, and answer is right because it is his Maya only. He alone is there. His is only the power. That power is infinite. It can create world. It can create you jiva. In you it can create manabuddhi chittankara. To that manabuddhi chittankara it can give capacity. When that capacity is utilized, it does sankalpa. When the sankalpa is done, the vishayas are created. But a problem in this is what? Then, therefore Bhagavan only made me. Therefore I can think of any vishayas and enjoy. That side effect will be there. Barring that side effect, to end this question, when we say it is Bhagavan's Maya, then there the question ends. Now the another question and answer is how to come out of this Vishaya Dhyanam so that I get liberated. Focus on that. Because when we say everything Paramatma is Ananta Shakti, therefore all the jivas, in them all the Prakriti, everything has to be His only ultimately. This is actually a realization, a step before final realization. At this level, if it is told, where we are not yet pure, not yet convinced of Paramatma's ekata, not fully established in the path, the same knowledge may misguide us. That's why it is not told now. It is told at the final level. It was his Maya that he created jivas. He only created the deer and that sadhuness in the deer. He only created that lion or tiger, and in that he created the ferociousness. And he only made the tiger or lion chase and kill that animal. That is ultimate truth, but should not be told now. Otherwise, what will say? Then we either blame the Lord that he is partial, or we justify in our own cruelty. I also do cruelty and say Bhagavan ne create kiya. See the danger there? Therefore, those things are not spoken generally in the beginning. Finally, at the secret chambers, before the final touches are given, the Guru reveals to him the secret from within. So far, I was bound in samsara, was also the Ishvara Leela. Not now. Now you have to struggle to count of samsara and bandhana. At that level, what happens? After knowing the truth also, allows the Ishvara to play the Leela. In that Leela, he seems to be bound again with Upadhi, but not bound. To do the Loka Kalyana, Loka Seva, he comes into the Upadhi, that Jivan Mukta, the Jnani. He just plays the play role. Now also we are playing the play, but it is taken seriously, therefore we have become that to suffer. At that level, plays the play, but not involves in it with identity. Therefore, it doesn't become that, therefore there is no suffering. But in between, this is the state. So, one thing we have to catch in this 22nd chapter, out of so many great thoughts. What is that? Vishaya Dhyana leads to the non existing world, then the non existing reality of the world, non existing sukha to the world, and unnecessary desire in the mind, unnecessary planning and working, etc. And it's such a simple truth it is. When you think out an object, Vishaya Dhyana, immediately the desire to possess it, planning, etc., makes the object as if real. It is so important. It's such an easy example, tell you. You will enjoy it. I can only give example, but I cannot bring and keep in front of you the fact that when you travel in trains or in the beach or in that Numais, etc., you see the dalmudi wale. He'll have a big basket and he'll have 7 items. Kalik newspaper. He stands. Then it is we who go and ask कि मेरे बना के दो. वो पूछता है 20 का है कि 30 का है, 20 बना. Then both मिर्ची होना है, कम होना मिर्ची, बिना प्याज है प्याज. Who is asking all? Then he will mix everything and give. In the same way, it is my Vishaya Dhyana. Remember, I am telling you the ultimate truth. It is my Vishaya Dhyana prompting Paramatma in his Maya Shakti to create that Vishaya for me. If this much is understood, we understood exactly where from the problem is starting. And we understand that problem is starting from me. Then we understand the solution is also within me. This is correct understanding. Whenever we think the problem is with God or with Ishvara or with the Jagat, you will never solve the problem because it is not with me. But it never gets solved also. But it is starting with me only when I say, then I can start finding some solution there. तो मैंने ध्यान किया इसलिए जगत भगवान ने मेरे लिए बनाया और मैं इस बंधन में आ गया. अब बंद करो उसको, अपने खुद के तरफ से ध्यान करना, फिर सब खत्म हो जाएगा. Like in the sapna, all anarthak in the sapna are because of the imagination only, though they are not real. Sometime in the jagrata avastha you imagine this or that, or manipulate mix होकर और dream हो गया. In the same way, in the waking plan, because the mind is there, you start thinking Vishayas. Because eyes are there, we see them and give value. Because ears are there, you will like them listening to that music. That's how we are bound. Okay. Then at the higher level, Dhyayato Vishayan means what? There are no Vishayas. There is no corresponding Vishayi also. यदि विषय है तो देखने वाला विषयी होता है. Only one truth alone is there. In him, Vishaya Vishayi Bheda is not there. But not knowing that, be attentive. One truth. Not knowing that. Instead of him, some Vishaya when we see, immediately we become the Vishayi. Understand? Not knowing truth is first. In that place, seeing some Vishaya is second point. Then the corresponding Vishayi I become. This is the first step. After that, I continuously become a Vishayi to go on imagining the Vishaya. Then Vishaya Vishayi is samsara. The knower, the known Jagat. Then desirer, desired, the one who acts and gets. इसा विषय विषय ये दोनों एक जोड़ी हो जाता है. That's what samsara. So ध्यायतः विषयान अस्य. Catch this point. That's why Vishaya Dhyanam created world and samsara. Bhagavad Dhyanam creates sadhana and siddhi. Tattva Dhyanam, Bhagavad Dhyanam. The dhyana doing instrument is with all of us. The dhyana capacity is with all of us. The choice is there. Vishaya Dhyana, Paramatma Dhyana. Vishaya Dhyana is Preyo Marga, Bandhana Marga. Paramatma Dhyana is Shreya Marga, Moksha Marga. And in this, there is no ambiguity. Whether you listen it first time and get convinced, or you listen it 1,000 times and get convinced, or you heard million times yet not convinced, it is your prarabdha, it is your hands. That responsibility also everybody should take. I heard this thing 200 times, still I am not convinced about it, that the two margas are kept in front of me, but to choose which one is in my hands. This has not clicked to me so far that I have to feel the महसूस होना है मुझे. पापा डेली कहते हैं इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. अरे पापा मेरे लिए कह रहे हैं, मुझे समझकर उनका पालन करना है. दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. वी डू ऑल द टाइम फर्स्ट वन, नॉट आउट ऑफ एंगर. गुरु से, श्रुति से, शास्त्र से, सत्संग से, वी ऑल अप्रिशिएट. भाई इट इज सेड फॉर यू टू अडॉप्ट इट, टू प्रैक्टिस इट, टू हेल्प योर सेल्फ. वो नहीं होता क्लिक हमको, उसको हमें होने देना. कब? अभी. क्यों? अभी बताए ना. क्यों? अगले मिनट नहीं बताएंगे, फिर नहीं करोगे. So my Vishaya Dhyana is creating such a world of anartha to me. So I should reduce that habit. Then you can't stop Vishaya Dhyana because Antakarana is there. कुछ तो को ध्यान करेगी हो. Therefore instead of Vishaya Dhyana, Bhagavad Dhyana. You are taking names of people. Instead of names of people, you take the name of God. Is it not? You see the forms of the world. In the forms of the world, you see the form of the God. You get to know the stories of the people. Instead of that, get to know the story of God. All the abilities which were binding us with the worldliness of the Antakarana Ityadi, we are using the same abilities to get liberated by focusing on Lord. Is it not? We were discussing about the Mahima of the Jagat. Now we discuss the Mahima of the God. So Jagannama instead of Bhagannama. Jagad Rupa instead of Bhagavad Rupa. जगत कथा इंस्टेड भगत कथा. फिर जगत लीला इंस्टेड भगवत लीला. देन जगत के प्रति आसक्ति इंस्टेड भगत मान के प्रति भक्ति. फिर जगत को सरेंडर होने के बजाय सरेंडर भगवान को हो जाओ. दिस इज व्हाट दे इंडिकेट टू अस. हियर वी सेड भगवान इन द भक्ति मार्ग, इन द वेदांत मार्ग, द रूट, द सबस्ट्रेटम, द अधिष्ठान, द कॉज ऑफ एवरीथिंग, द कॉजलेस कॉज ऑफ एवरीथिंग. फोकस ऑन दैट. All things we understand. Ultimately is what? The Vishayatva we have to drop. This is what I am saying is I am feeling but I am not conveying to it completely. Vishayatva is to be dropped means at ultimate stage accepting nothing other than God. That's called Vishayatva Tyaga. At that level, the Maya, the Trigunas, they are playing of havoc. None of them are Vishayas. Then all of them are Bhagavan only. Sushti is him, Sushti Shakti is his. Sri Sthiti is his, Sthiti Shakti is his. Laya also his only Laya Shakti bhi hoy. That is ultimate. That is called the Vishayatva Tyaga, final level. Then there is a Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha. विषय दोनों नहीं है. देन विषय विषयी के रूप में जो नाटक कर रहा था, वो एक ही जो अविषय है अविषयी है, that remains, and that technically called as the pure consciousness. Because it is existing, it is called as existence. Put together, existence consciousness. It has no limitations. Therefore, that limitation, any sort of limitation nahi hai, that is called ananda. Therefore, in the beginning, practice it what? Don't do the dhyana of the Vishayas. At second level, higher level, mein, see all the Vishayas through senses because you can't avoid. You are alive. You have to open the eyes and live in the world. देखो बात, जीवन जब तक है तभी साधना करना है, और जब जीवन है उसी समय उपाधियां रहते हैं, एंड उपाधियों के साथ जगत दिखेगा ही. We can't do sadhana after dead. We are doing sadhana only when are alive. The life means upadhi is working. When the upadhi is work, the world is seen. You can't avoid this. Then where is the adjustment we have to bring out? Is in the beginning, reduce the Vishaya Dhyanam. दर्शनम भी कम करो, सुनना भी कम करो, फिर मन में मनमानी करना भी कम करो. At the higher level, the reduction of Vishaya Dhyana at the higher level is what? Don't consider anything as Vishaya. Then what is to be considered as? Everything is Bhagavan. That shift you do it. That shifting is called as the highest maturity, which won't click just like that. I'll give an example. Like some of us have the feeling, yo, I am not getting love for God, devotion for the God. All of us feel, utna bhakti, utna prem nahi mil raha hai. All of us. Now a simple trick. What is that? Do you love someone or they not in the world? Purely in your heart. है कोई है, माता है, पिता है, बच्चे हैं. You definitely have love for someone. Nobody can be without love, is it not? Now, instead of struggling that I am getting not getting love for God, not love for, instead of that, whomever you are loving, if you consider them as God, बात खत्म. But it doesn't click just like that. You can't love God, but whomever you are loving, you consider them as God. तो बात हो गया ना. Interesting point. And actually, this is the ultimate thing to be reached. Our love for God is only expressed in the form of our love for the world. In other words, our love for the world is a beginning for the love of God. What is to be done there is remove the world and keep God there. Then the love is for God only. What the meaning of remove the world? Don't call them as an object or anybody. Call them as God. And there's nothing wrong in it because that is the final truth. Because everything is Bhagavan. In the same way. Dhyayato Vishayan means what? Vishay Dhyan Chodo Matlab. Don't refuse to believe that there is anything other than God. That practice we have to do for a long time. दृष्टिम ज्ञानमयम कृत्वा पश्येत ब्रह्ममयम जगत दृष्टिम भक्तमयम कृत्वा पश्येत राममयम कृष्णमयम विष्णुमयम मातामयम जगत. This is so simple. We heard it 100 times. But to understand it, we need to attend 2 years of everyday 6 classes. Even now, it's not convinced. Is it not? Conviction means you will not do anything other than that. If we are doing many things, means conviction has not come. Little we are doing means semi-conviction it is. Little. Zyadatar दुनियादारी में. How important is this now? अर्थे अविद्यमानेपि संस्कृतिर्न निवर्तते. संस्कृतिर्न निवर्तते. Samsara is not ending. Of birth, death, misery. The cause of samsara is the whole world of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha outside, the Upadhi is inside. In reality, they are there or what? No. So, Arthe Avidyamane, like snake is not at all there, but the fear is not going. Arthe Avidyamane, snake is not there. Samskriti Navartate, fear is not going. What is the solution? The Artha, which is creating samsara, is not there really. Then where is there? In your own dhyana. Your own imagination, there's a snake. Otherwise, rope never became snake. Two things remember, rope never disappeared and it never became snake. The Lord never disappeared and he never became the world. But you and I are seeing snake and we are suffering. You and I are seeing the world, therefore we are suffering the consequence of Raga Dvesha. Whose responsibility therefore it is ours. In this, both the sadhanas, that snake is not real, rope alone is real. Both we have to do. Snake is not real is called Vyatireka sadhana, rope is real is called Anvaya sadhana. So to dropping the Vishaya Dhyanam is Vyatireka sadhana, continuously contemplating on Paramatma is Anvaya sadhana. When it is done for a sufficient period of time, what is the sufficient period? Pakka the snake is gone, along with it all fears gone. Pakka rope is seen, along with that the peace is gained. Till the time the Vyatireka Anvaya we have to do. In the same way, till the Vishayatva goes away and consequent Ragadvesha and Samsara goes away, and till the Tattva is known and the bliss of Tattva is experienced, the Anvaya Vyatireka has to be done. Anvaya Vyatireka alone has to be done. Anvaya Vyatireka alone has to be done all the time. It starts on the Sita meditation in the beginning as a commitment. Later on, 24 hours that alone has to be done. Then only the entire vasanas you may call them, habits you may call them, but whatever the words you use for, all that kachra will go away. Then we fully establish in Paramatma only Sarvam, Anubhuti. Sarvam Hetad Brahma is that stage. Sarvam Krishnamayam Vishnumayam is that stage. अर्थे हि अविद्यमानेपि संस्कृतिर ननिवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयान् स्वप्ने अनर्थागमः yatha. That's an example. In the swapna world is not there, but still all experience is gained. सबसे बड़ा पैराडॉक्स है ना, दुनिया है ही नहीं सच में, लेकिन दुख है अदुको. क्या मजेदार बात है. There's no world, but still there's a fear. There's no snake, but still there's fear. Fear, misery, all that. See the power of our Maya. And what is power of Maya? Again and again, let us not say it's power of Maya as if it is something outside. It is power of our own avidya, which is the expression of Maya. After saying so, drop the Maya. Maya should be worshipped actually. Then in our own avidya, the laziness, we are such a bewkoof that we are not knowing what is to be done to get liberated, and we are doing only that like a blind fellow, that which is going to bind us. What is the meaning of these two? We are not doing Bhagavad Dhyanam, we are doing Vishaya Dhyanam. Means Bhagavad Dhyan karane wale us taraf nahi ja rahe, Vishaya Dhyan karane wale us taraf ja rahe. Whether you call them as people or the books or the interactions, whatever you call, that is our murkhata. As long as we hold on to this murkhata, because we are holding on to, we are the ones who are given the punishment of that murkhata. That's how we continue as jiva, exposed to transmigration of birth and death. Between birth and death, we only wait for the death with all the miseries that are there. Instead of being a blissful self, we get bound to a body of 40, 70, 80 years age with this much height, weight, and in that body, the five indriyas are there. What is their capacity, stupid fellow? एक घंटा ज़्यादा टीवी देखो तो आँख खराब होता है. एक रोटी ज़्यादा खाओ तो पचता नहीं वो. Through these stupid small equipment, we, the infinite self, wanting to get happiness, and we have one or two friends, we want them to tell us, Allah, I love you, and for that whole life we dedicate for them. Such a murkhata, we are fully engrossed. And the beauty of ours is what? All knowledge, all education, all intellect, all skills. We use only to express our murkhata, to increase our murkhata. That is why Shankara Bhagavan says, Modha Mate. You have a lot of mati, but that is misused because of modata. Why? It is used in wrong place. See, all the money we earn, and for that so much work we do. And what do we do with all that money? Only decorating our body, giving food to the body. Means what? देह तादात्म्य तो बढ़ रहा है ना. That's called मूढ़मति. Is it not? Again, all the seva, love we give it to people. Why? Only to establish all the relativity only, no? Not the absolute, no? This is modata. This will never be neither caught it. Even if somebody says it appears to be they are encroaching our privacy, and we feel disturbed by that, and we say what you are saying is we don't agree. That is their power, like the child. Don't sleep, get up and study. If says, even mother, father say he doesn't agree. When others say, Tum kaun hote mere ko bolne wale? His arrogance will be so strong. He says, you dare not touch my personal privacy. It's my choice. That's how our ignorance is so strong. What is the Mudavati? Doing all the things with all the skills and wisdom only to continue our bondage. And which we never realize. If somebody comes to tell us, we become a big majority and we say, hey, you are not here to be there. We tell them, you have to stay in some jungle as a sannyasi, you go there. Why are you coming into us? So that he should never be seen by us, even to teach us, so that we can fully engross in our own samsara, in our own मूर्खता. एंड सब मूर्ख मिलकर सबको इंटेलिजेंट मानते हैं, जैसे सब पागल मिलकर अपने आप को ठीक है मानते हैं. This is how facts. And how bitter is this fact? Dhyayato Vishayanasya. So at the Tattva Drushti, other than Shuddha Satchit Tattva, nothing is there. Like in the morning, Brahma Jnanavali Maha, Sachidananda Rupoham, Ahamevaham Aviyaha, Asangoham, Punah Punah, Sachidananda Rupoham, Ahamevaham Aviyaha. This is called the Tattva Drushti, say Paramatma Dhyanam. Then Vishaya Dhyana goes away. Other thing is what? Bhagavat Drushti. Other than the Paramatma, nothing else is there. That's how the Virat Rupa, which is so tough for intellect, but we have to practice to understand. From that standpoint, we see the entire world, all 14 worlds are his own hands, legs, and body parts only. And in the 7th, 8th skandhas or 5th one, we have seen all the gunas which are there, dharma, adharma, bhava, punya, सब भगवान के अंग ही बताया हमको. That's called second rejection of Vishaya Dhyanam by the Bhakti Marga. Then by the Yoga Marga, Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that also leads to Vishaya Dhyanam. Okay. Then in the world with the Vishayas, they are cause of only bondage. Jitna bhi karo, aisa hi hota hai. With this type of Viveka, then the Vairagya is born, that also reduces Vishaya Dhyanam. So Tattva Dhyana leading to Vishaya Dhyana Rahityam, Bhakti leading to Vishaya Dhyana Rahityam, use the yoga to remove the Vishaya Dhyana. Finally, by doing the Pratipaksha Bhavana, Dosha Drushti, we have to reduce Vishaya Dhyanam. If any one of them are not adopted or none of them, we only are doing Vishaya Dhyana, then from the world which is not there, eternally we get bound. Like 5,000 episodes of serial. We are bound every day for 40 minutes from last 5,000 days in that serial which is never there. See the power of Maya. 5,000 episodes you have seen is equal to 5,000 lives we take about the world which is not there by not avoiding Vishaya Dhyana. Underline this word, Dhyayato Vishayanasya. Never allow the Vishayas to be thought about. Just निरंतर भगवान ही होना. आंख बंद करते हैं तो अंदर सारे मन बुद्धि चित्त के रूप में वही है. आंख खोलते हैं तो शब्द स्पर्श रूप रस के वही है. Insist on that. Only one thing, my Lord alone is so many forms. And I have no doubt about it. And how? He has got that power to appear in so many forms. If it's a dog or a cat or whatever it may be, it is my own Lord's form. If you sit as dog or a cat, then you will either get attachment to it or you become angry. Then it became a samsara. Not seeing God in the dog and cat is Vishaya Dhyana. Seeing only God in everything is called a Bhagavad Dhyana. Both are in our choice. Imagine a state of mind evolved. Maybe it may take 10 lives, wherein anything seen by Indriyas, anything imagined in the mind, is fully accepted, convinced as Bhagavan only. Where is Bandhanam? Where is Samsara? That is where all the saints and sages live from. And that they achieved in this life as a result of many lives of continuous practice, not in one life. In the same way, for us to reach to that level, maybe of 10 lives, we have to start from now. So what is the simple fact, practical point? There is no Vishaya, Sarvam Bhagavanmaya. What is the difference between Vishayatva and Bhagavatmaya? When you look at the thing and get Bhoga Vasana, Bhoga Buddhi, you have seen it as Vishaya. When you get the thought of respect, reverence, then you are seeing Bhagavan. To see Bhagavan and respect, or keep on respecting and see Bhagavan. See Jagat and get desires, or get desires and see the Jagat as real. This is bondage, this is liberation. Because of that only they say Matur Deva Bhava, Pitur Deva, Acharya Deva, everything Deva. The Ganga Devi hai, Brukshavi Devi hai, all the Pahad mountains, सब भगवान में है. This is the only way to remove our own inner Maya. Outer Maya created the world, and it is nothing wrong in it. It is adding to the beauty of the world. भगवान की माया शक्ति से सब जगत बना, इसलिए सब जीवों को साधना करने के लिए मिल रहा है ना. Therefore, if that Maya of God is not there, we will not get Guru, we will not get Shastra. That's also part of Maya. Without that, how will you get the knowledge and liberation? Therefore, in Ishwar Maya, there is no problem. In our own Jiva Maya, we have only problem. Here we have to be careful. We have to work only on this field, not. You did not destroy the mountain to see the Lord. You have to remove the mountain from the mind as if it is a mountain other than the Lord, say in the form of mountain Lord. Therefore, Sthavarana Himalaya and all Sthavarasas Lord only later on. Keep on doing it, keep on doing it. 24 घंटे. अन्नम परब्रह्म ब्रह्म अर्पणम ब्रह्म हवि ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतम ब्रह्मैव तेन ब्रह्म कर्म. Is it not? And that is why in millions of avatars of Lord, in every avatara, he appeared in some or the other form. In some place he appeared as a tree, in some place appeared as a fruit or flower, many places appeared as a bird, some place appeared as a animal, in some place as a human being. Why is it so? Only to say that I can appear in all forms, rather it's my own appearance in all forms. From now onwards, what we have to do? There is no Vishaya other than Bhagavan. And to intensify that sadhana, which is impossible in today's world of Kali Yuga, I am just telling what they do when they eat food. They tell, "Oh Lord, you have come in the Annarupa to enter into my stomach for my nourishment. I am very sorry that I have to chew you and eat you." You know? Again, after eating, "Oh Lord, you are only in the Vaishnava Rupa. You are the one who secreted all the enzymes, all the heat created. You are the one who mixed the food with the blood. You are the one who digest it and do all the supply of the things and throw all the outward things, unwanted. You are the one." Because aham Vaishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashrita pranapana samayukta pachamyanam. Is it not? Because I can't, if I don't eat food, oh Lord, I can't do your sadhana. So, to moment you get up from bed, putting feet on the ground, "Hey mother, I am putting my foot on you, please forgive me. Because if I don't put my foot on you, I can't move, I can't do work, and all my movements and works are only to serve you and reach you. Therefore, forgive me." You know, wearing the clothes. Oh Lord, it is you only in the form of Vastra. But I have to protect this Deha so that I am alive, so that I can reach you. Therefore, allow me to insult you that way. Insult means allow me to use that way. In that way, highly sensitive people do it. That's the meaning of when you buy a car, go to the temple, not it offering to the Lord, knowing that the vehicle is Lord only. When you buy a house, house is Lord, not in the house the Lord is. If you say in the house the Lord is, you will bind the Lord in the puja room, in all other places, all nonsense we do. घर के रूप में भगवान है, सब रूप उन्हीं के हैं, उनमें जड़ चेतन नहीं होता, इसलिए वो सब जड़ चेतन दोनों रूप में दिखते हैं. He is neither jada nor chetana. He expresses jada chetana in the form of world for interaction. We have to discover that you are in all. Is it not? Oh Lord, to protect my feet, I am wearing you, you only in the form of that footwear. You only in the form of the eatables. It says Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Ve, Brahma Agno means what that? Inside the bhavana. Outside don't insult it again. जूते पहन के मंदिर में मत जाना. They are outer rules. Idea is what? Vishaya dhyana replaced by Bhagavad dhyana. See, in a pen, the cover also plastic, the pen also plastic, the refill also plastic, is it not? एक ही प्लास्टिक एक तीन के रूप में दिख रहे. Go subtler, even that nib of it, whatever, Also from the matter which has come from Paramatma. Paramatma is not matter. Paramatma expresses matter for the sake of Jagat. Paramatma is not Chaitanya. Paramatma expresses as Chaitanya for the living. Paramatma is beyond these two. That's a very high level meditation, you know him. अर्थे ह्यविद्यमानेऽपि संश्रुतिर्न निवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयानस्य स्वप्ने अनर्थागमो यथा. And how to remove Vishaya Dhyanam? Only replace it by Bhagavad Dhyanam. So the number of times we remember Bhagavan, the length of the remembrance of Bhagavan, the understanding of nature of Bhagavan, the depth of remembering Bhagavan decides the removal of the Vishayatva and consequent samsruti or samsara from us. Final experience क्या होगा? I, the seer of the world, and the world seen by me. He is the play of one Paramatma only. He only playing these two. What a high level of maturity you see. We have to reach to that. We should not be afraid. We should not say, मेरे से नहीं होता है. करो तो सबको होता है. करना पड़ता है. तभी जाकर निष्कृति या शांति होती है. Okay? So, अर्थे ही अविद्यमाने पे संस्कृति न निवर्तते ध्यायितो विषयानस्य स्वप्ने अनर्थकम यथा. Therefore, what we said last 20 minutes, same thing Bhagavan said to Uddhava. Rather, what Bhagavan said, that's what we said. See, the 56 sloka, 57, 58, they're all sadhanas. These three. Most important one. First one he says, Tasmat Uddhava ma bhungshva vishayan asad indriyaihi atma agrahana nirvatam pasya vaikalpikam brahmam. These are the two sadhanas to be done. Therefore, Uddhava ma bhungshva vishayan asad indriyaihi. Now, how to explain this, I don't know, but you catch it because you are wise people. Don't indulge in the Vishaya Bhoga with the Indriyas which are unreal by your choice. That is the only way by which the Vishaya Dhyanam can be eliminated. And whenever the Indriyas are running toward the objects or the objects are seen tempting the Indriyas, both the time, what is to be done? Second line. What is that? Atma agrahana nirvatam pasya vaikalvikam brahmam. Means what? It is because of the inability to recognize the one without second self, inability to recognize the self, called as avidya, that this vikalpa of the Vishayas and Indriyas is imagined as Brahma. And add to this, I have to rise above the Brahma. I have to come out of the Atma Agrahana and I have to enter into the Atma Grahana, Atma Anubhuti. So if I have to get the Atma Anubhuti, I have to get out of this Brahma of Vishaya and Vishayi. And Vishaya, Vishaya, Brahma can go away when only through the Indriyas. In the Vishayas, I am not involving. But I can't live without consuming Vishayas. Therefore, at that time, offer everything to the Lord and take it as prasad. Now, who is the one who is taking them? He is only the devotee of God or the seeker of God. See that identity? In that way, we have to define ourselves and world in a very narrow frame. उससे बाहर नहीं आने देना. I take only those Vishayas which are required for my survival. Point one. All those Vishayas are Bhagavat Prasadam. There is no Bhoga there. Myself also live through Padi, but I am only the servant of the Lord or devotee of the Lord or the seeker of the truth. इतना अपने आप को डिफाइन करके उसी में रहना. लिटिल बिट बाहर आओगे, यू आर गॉन. तस्मात् उद्धव मा भुंक्ष्व विषयान असदिन्द्रियैः आत्म अग्रहण निर्भातम पश्य वैकल्पिकम ब्रह्मम. हाउ क्लियर इज सेट. इससे सिंपल इतना डायरेक्ट और कौन बताएगा हमको. These all vikalpa, variety of I the seer or the seen, I am the enjoyer, the enjoyed. All these vaikalpika, is all vikalpa. These are all Brahma. Where it is born from? Atma Agrahana. Inability to know the self which is common substratum behind all. Because of the agrahana of the Atma, these are seen. When you go on involving in them only, the Atma agrahana, not knowing the self, continues for the millions of lives. In this life, you want mukti, mukti is only in Atma Anubhuti. If you want to have the Atma Anubhuti, you have to remove the obstruction which is covering the Atma Anubhav. What is covering? The Brahma of Vikalpa of the Vishaya Vishaya. And what is to be done? Therefore, Ma Bhunksha Vishaya. In other words, never become a bhogi of the Jagat. Become only Bhakta and Sevak. Those thoughts you remove. From now onwards, I am not eating food or enjoying food. I am only serving the Lord with that food who is in my heart. That language we have to change, the attitude we have to change. Till all the wrong attitudes go away. That I am a bhokta, Jagat is bhogya vastu, and I am enjoying the world as bhogi. Then this triputi binds me to samsara. Then the real taste of aham brahmasmi can never be gained. The real taste of the purest love or devotion or surrender to the Lord is never enjoyed. We die without knowing that. What's the use of such life, especially as a human? जिस काम को करने के लिए आए वो नहीं की, बाकी सब किया जो फालतू वाले हैं, फंसाने वाले हैं. हाउ कैन वी कॉल वे आर अकलमंद? बेवकूफ ओनली. That I am not telling you, you can't tell me. I have to tell myself, you have to tell yourself. So only two things. I am such a murkha ki I am not doing for what I came and I am doing something wrong. Therefore, I have to become wise by stopping to do all that which is not supposed to be done and doing only that which I have to do. First decision. Second, therefore, Vishaya Dhyanam is the Bandha Karanam. I am not sent here for that. Bhagavad Dhyanam is Mukti Karanam. I am sent for that. Therefore, I will not do this, I will do this. Decide yourself. And avoid to your own decision. Make it a habit. Then involve in that only. Involve in that only. Never come out of it. You come out of it, it is all गड़बड़ हो जाता है फिर. तस्मादुद्धव महावंश विषयान सदिंद्रैः आत्माग्र निर्भातम पश्यवैकल्पिकम भ्रमाम. हो गया. Now, but I am living in this world. People are there around me. They trouble me. They tempt me to involve in the world as jiva. What to do, sir? So Bhagavan in two shlokas से ना ऐसे बातें बता रहे ना, which is so impossible to do. So impossible to do really. But if you make it possible, it can be made, then you get liberation. He is only telling in the paroksha rupa. We have to understand it with our wisdom. Indirectly is hinting it, directly you have to understand. What is the essence of this shloka? When the dushta vyaktis around you are treating you in every way, bad way, treating you badly in every way, don't react to that. Because whatever they do is only for your upadhis and you are not upadhi. If you react, you have identity with the upadhi. Then be a sakshi. That's what he says. This is the only way we stop the mind's reactions. Then the mind starts reacting, he takes the world as real and gone. You have failed the game. Somebody said Gada. If I react it, I failed the exam because the Atma is neither Gada nor Ghoda. So whom he is saying as Gada? Body. Body Gada हो आदमी हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है मेरे को? इस जन्म में मनुष्य है, पहले जन्म में गधा था, अगले जन्म में गंधर्व होगा, क्या फर्क पड़ा? I'm not that. See the funny thing, we say I'm not donkey, but he is saying me donkey. Therefore we react. Is it not? What is the result should be? Actually I'm a human being. That also I'm not. And I'm not donkey. And that he is saying, how foolish that fellow? Why should I react? Did you understand? What do we say? मैं आदमी हूं, मुझे गधा कहता है, we react. है ना? Actual point is मैं आदमी हूं. Actually वो भी नहीं हूं मैं तो आत्मा हूं ना. और मैं आदमी हूँ दिखता देखते हुए भी मुझे आदमी नहीं कहा, तो मुझे वो गधा कह रहे जो मैं हूँ ही नहीं, कितना बेवकूफ है वो. You have to laugh at him. Everything. Even somebody praises you are intelligent or fool. I am not buddhi, yaar. The intelligence fully belongs to buddhi. Why should I react? Neither it tries to be intelligent nor he avoids the buddhupan. Because they belong to upadhi. तुम जितना भी इंटेलिजेंट हो या बुद्ध हो, आत्मा तो नहीं हो ना, बंधन में आ गए. Like if you are rich or poor, you are not happy. What is the use of that? If you are happy, whether you are rich or poor, how does it matter? Subtle thing. तस्माद् उद्धव महापुंश विषयान असेंद्रियैः आत्माग्रहण निर्भातम पश्यवैकल्पिकम ब्रह्म हो गया. Now he says, therefore, when the people are there around you, asadbihi, they do all these things to you. Again, ultimately, it is either because of your prarabdha or they want to get out of their kundak, which will become their prarabdha later. एक बात समझना है, नया बता रहा बात. So far what we study is, we get our own prarabdha. No, we get mutual prarabdha. Because we are living in the common world. And the prarabdha for the common world is some common. Prarabdha for the total world is common. And that's why many times, even though it is not in our personal prarabdha, still we get it because we are a part of the total. How can we avoid it? We are all interacting with each other so clearly in the outer world. We are not living lonely. So too the prarabdhas also are mutual. समष्टि प्रारब्ध कहते हैं उसको. ओनली थिंग क्या है ना, वी हैव टू राइज अबव द वेष्टि प्रारब्ध, देन यू आर लिबरेटेड. What do? We neglect the samashti and we get caught up in the Vyashti prarabdha. We neglect the samashti, get bound in the Vyashti wala. That's wrong. What is sadhana? Transcending Vyashti prarabdha. That's it. By the Sakshi Bhava ityadi. Now, people around are there, asad asat purushas. These are the variety things they do to us. To us, which us they do? To Jiva who is with Upadhi. Are you a Jiva or you want to be the Atma Atma? As long as you hold on to Upadhi, you become Jiva. Therefore, don't hold to Upadhi. Therefore, don't react. What are the things they do? Kshiptaha. Kshipta means gali dena. Kshepanam karna. Second is what? Avamanitaha. Avamanita means insult karna. And abusing is kshiptaha. Avamanita is insulted. Then pralabdha, humiliated. इंसल्ट से अलग है ह्यूमिलिएशन. 10 लोगों के सामने हमको करना, ह्यूमिलिएशन. प्रलब्धः असूयितो वा मीन्स वी आर एक्यूज्ड. क्षिप्तः गाली देना, अवमानितः इंसल्ट करना, प्रलब्धः ह्यूमिलिएट करना, असूयितो वा फाइंडिंग फॉल्ट्स, एक्यूजिंग अस. ताड़ितः बीटन, निबद्धः टाइड विद द रोप्स, वृत्त्या वा परिहापितः, our livelihood is taken away. Nishtitaha, nishtita means what? Even thukna, spitting. Mutritova, वो भी लिखा है इधर. Agnaihi, by the ignorant people, bahuda evam prakampitaha. Few I gave, like that thousands of the way, people try to do prakampana in your sadhana. They try to pull you to that level of jiva by trying to make you identify with the upadhi. In any of these cases, whatever they did, it did not touch the Atma. Because Atma is nirlipta. And I am the Atma, or I want to be the Atma. Is it not? Then when whatever they can do is only to the Upadhi. If you react means you have agreed what they said. What they said is you are a Jiva with Upadhi. Therefore, though the Lord gave few examples, what it means what? Throughout life, whatever the people give, good or bad, don't react. Because they can't give anything to you. They can't take anything from you. You are that self. To reach to that self, the reactions in the mind which happen when such things happen around us, we have to guard ourselves from. So when the Asat Purushas do all these things, Bhauta Evam Prakampitaha, Shreyas Kamaha, The one who wants to reach the Shreya Sthiti of Paramatma, Krushnagataha, with all these difficulties also, Atmana Atmanam Uddharet. He should lift himself from himself, by himself. Lift himself by himself means he should identify himself with the true self only, not with the Jiva who is identified with the Upadhi. They can't do anything to me. I am the untouchable self. If they can do something to me, they do it to themselves because self is one. Okay. Now, what Bhagavan says here that even with Asat Purusha's insult, you don't react. What he is saying, the height of, and what we do, we ourselves, for our own selfishness, we insult people, we scold people, we thuko on them, we only cheat them. अब देखो हम कहाँ हम खड़े हैं, कहाँ आने को भगवान कह रहे हैं. From a criminal, he is telling us to become sadhu. Criminal who is the one for selfishness who troubles others. Sadhu is forgives everybody, even though how much of criminality they did to him. Him means to the Upadis. Now combine both shlokas. पहले ऊपर वाला क्या कहा? Don't enjoy the Vishyas with the Indriyas. Means from your side, stop all the pravritti. When the world tempts you for the pravritti through all these accusations and all, don't react. Therefore, there also avoid the pravritti, enter into nivritti. Pravritti nivritti, technical words I am saying. Nivritti means remain as Atma. Pravritti means become as Jiva by reacting. So neither use Indriyas to indulge in the world, nor indulge in the world by reacting to whatever the world gives. Such sort of things. And why Bhagavan gave these two? Because they are mutual. What is mutual? When you enter into the world with the Indriyas, they are unsatiable because it's all Maya. Then you start doing unwanted things there, which is not liked by the world. Then the world will do all these things. Though Bhagavan has mentioned to maintain balance when people do all that, none of that people do anything to me unless I am at least somewhere or the other part of that. It may be of this life, it may be earlier life. Like somebody is put in jail along with others, though he did not do any mistake in that particular case. He thinks that मैं तो कुछ नहीं किया, मैं क्यों फंसा? अब कुछ नहीं किया, बेवकूफ पहले किया, उसका हिसाब चल रहा है. और एज आई सेड समष्टि वाला. Club both of them and do sadhana. Now, when people this way insult us, we should not react. क्या? No, इसका एक हिस्सा that the other religion man has done that. That's it. Nothing great. It's casually said by our Lord in one place. Our great Prahaladas and all are the high level. Now, Uddhav ji is हैरान हो गया अभी on behalf of all of us. I believe it is impossible. What is impossible? Yatha evam anubuddheyam vadano vadatam vara. Hey, best among all the advisors or speakers or givers of knowledge, how to get convinced about it and practice it? Please tell me. Because sudu saham idam manye atmani asat atikramam. Hare, it is impossible to withstand when the asat people do the atikramana of my personal individuality and they trouble me. It is impossible to withstand to the onslaught of others. How to do that? आप जो कह रहे हो, it is so good in theory. Practicality is impossible है वो. Because of various reasons. As an ego, I want to maintain my individuality and I am not at fault. I have to justify it also. हजारों reason है, जो भी है मेरे से होता नहीं वो. And another thing is one, if we go on allowing the people to insult me, they take it as for granted only. It becomes a habit to them. Then they insult others also. मतलब इस तरह के हम जस्टिफिकेशन रखते हैं कि नहीं मन में. कीपिंग ऑल ऑफ द इन माइंड, उद्धव से सुदु सहम इदम मन्ये आत्मने असद अतिक्रमम. असत पुरुष हमारे आत्मा को अटैक करते हैं तो उनको रिएक्ट किए बिना छोड़ना तो असंभव है. Because at one point or the other, the threshold is crossed, then we react. It's obvious, no? And we have to also in Vyavahara, actually. But Bhagavan says something different. See, Bhagavan is not saying Vyavahara, he's saying sadhana. सब्जेक्ट क्या हम पढ़ रहे हैं उसको थोड़ा मन में रखो तो संशय नहीं आएगा. Uddhav's question understood. Then he says, Vidusham api, even for wise person also, Vishwa Atman, the Lord who is the self of the whole Vishwa, Prakriti hi baliyasi. The nature is so balwan, powerful inside that although what you said is liked and believed, and we want to practice also, but the balavan Prakriti will not allow us not to react. How to transcend this nature, transcend this Prakriti, and follow what you said of non-reaction when the people do all this nonsense? And there are some people who can do. Who are they? Rute tadharma niratan shantan te charnalayan. Those who people are only doing your bhakti at your own feet, because of which their entire personality become quietened, though desire absolutely shanti. वो लोग कर सकते होंगे, लेकिन हम जैसे लोग कैसे करें इस बात को बताओ. Tell me and correct yourself or me that only you are theoretically telling something which is impossible, or you are telling what is possible, and if so, how it can be done, because so tough to me. And in such cases, the answer can be given only through example. Therefore, in the entire next chapter of 23, Sarga, अपना अध्याय, Bhagavan Krishna beautifully, 64 slokas are there, gives the answer to this question through that one of the most important text of Bhagavat. Bhagavat is a big text. In that Bhagavat, there are 100 texts are there. Every story is one text. But there are Gitas are there in Bhagavat. Like in Tulsi Ramayana also we call Gita. हाँ, Rama Gita, Lakshmana Gita, Garada Gita, Purajana Gita, Vibhishana Gita. There are 7 Gita hai in Tulsi Ramayana. So too in this Bhagavata, so many Brahmara Gita, the Uddhava Gita, like that. What we are going to see is Bhikshu Gita. We have seen Hamsa Gita, and Daila Gita will come later on. This is called a Bhikshu Gita. In the same way, a bhikshu who was a worldly person earlier did all nonsense. People kicked him out of the place. He went somewhere. He realized the thing, mistake, and sadhana came back to same village. Then people never knew that he is changed person now. So they were insulting him in the same way as they were doing. At that time, how that bhikshu lived, that is a lesson to you. The answer to your question. How to practice this seemingly impractical, but the only way to get out of the Vishayas relation and go out of all the samsara. That becomes an example. So from the example of that Vikshu, you get inspired to do. And what he did do, that becomes guidance to do. To do that, you will reach it. एग्जाम्पल प्रेरणा देगा और एग्जाम्पल के व्यक्ति क्या किया है वो मार्गदर्शन करेगा. सो प्रेरणा से उस मार्ग में चलो, पहुंच जाओगे तुम भी. दैट्स हाउ द मोस्ट important. Again another chapter coming in front of us. We'll study it from tomorrow. Hammaya. Somehow today we concluded. Even this chapter 22 also took solid 13 din or 14 din today. 12 or 14 days, 2 weeks. But it took it because we repeated, we studied, we tried to deeply understand. ऊपर और पढ़ के तो बोल ही सकते हैं कुछ. But I'm happy that you gave me the time and you attended, gave me an opportunity, and I enjoyed it. This chapter by Iswala. So many beautiful aspects came. इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे द्वाविंशोऽध्यायः. Okay, thank you very much. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Sadgunath Maharaj ki Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai. हो गया. I am happy for all those who are lucky enough to listen to our great Shastras. God bless you all that you continue. Our Valmiki Ramayana.